touch on it a little bit. Insidious, it can be insidious at first and masked by chronic hepatitis or cirrhosis. Patients will complain about pain in the right upper quadrant. Some of the risk factors associated with the development of liver cancer include obesity, type 2 diabetes, heavy alcohol consumption, cirrhosis, and a non-fatty non-alcoholic, fatty liver. Sometimes it can be autoimmune, but more so than ever, we're going to zone in on our people who may have been diagnosed with hepatitis B and C. Hepatitis B and C is a major contributing factor as well. We have to also educate our people of Asian descent because they find that hepatitis C, B can be an issue in that culture. So we want to be able to educate as much as we possibly can so they can get tested and be treated. So what are we going to talk to our patients about? They need to avoid medications that are toxic to the liver. Hepatotoxic medications, acetaminophen, Tylenol, acetaminophen, those things we need to monitor. Whatever the doctor decides to do about it will be based on what stage the cancer is in, what the lifespan of the cancer is, how long they've had it, what other things the patient might be doing that can be contributing to the cancer, the comorbidities. Are they a smoker? Are they a drinker? Sometimes, and it's not really fair, the doctor will base it on the fact that the patient, his age, what is their lifespan? They may not be able to handle such a surgery if they're an older person or they're already frail. So they may take that into consideration. What is the patient's goal? What does the patient want? Usually, sometimes patients can have a positive attitude and it will affect their ability to be able to get through a situation. Sometimes if their attitudes aren't as positive, that could be a factor as well. So these patients need therapy. They need to be referred. They need pain control. We need to take care of all of those things. See where they're at. We talked about TPN a little bit last week and talked about them using this medication or this nutrition in order to help balance out the patient's needs whenever they're not able to have foods NPO. What they'll do is the pharmacist and the dietitian, all of them will get together, they'll look at the labs, and they'll see what nutritional deficiencies this patient may have, and they will do their nutrition based on what their deficiencies are. In addition, they will add the fat, the lipids, to that. So it's our responsibility because when a patient is on TPN, if they're not a diabetic, or if they haven't had blood sugars checked, the doctor will more than likely have you check their blood sugar. So that'll be an order. So you know why the doctor's ordering that, because it has the sugar in it. And we need to monitor the blood sugars, okay? We're going to do just like we would if they were on a corticosteroid. We need to titrate them during initiation and during discontinuation. So you'll see the doctor probably titrate it down to lower it so much until the patient is able to be off of it. Okay? We know that we don't give it through a regular peripheral vein. We know it needs to go through a central vein. It's a lot of that's a lot of load going through those veins, so it needs to be a big vein. Okay? tubing typically has a filter. It'll always have a filter. Okay, so labs, vital signs, weights, all of those things are our responsibility with these patients. So, peptic ulcers. A peptic ulcer is an erosion of the GI mucosa resulting from the digestive action of HCl acid and pepsin. Usually the patient is constantly having some type of problem with gastric acids and it's causing an erosion in the stomach. Tell me that door up there for me, because I get in trouble. Emma will get me. Officer Emma will get me if the door is open. I believe. She showed me. Any portion of the GI tract that comes in contact with gastric secretions is susceptible to the development of an ulcer. Okay? Now they say it is estimated that 10% of men and 4% of women in the United States will have duodenal ulcers during their lifetime. Okay, so that tells us that men typically worry more, they typically have issues going on more that will cause them to develop ulcers. And most of the time, by the time they go to the doctor, it has gotten to the point where the ulcer is bleeding and causing them some kind of infection or something of that nature before they'll get checked. They'll go on and on complaining about stomach pain. Okay? It can be an acute ulcer or it can be a chronic ulcer. Lifestyle changes, things that need to happen. What are those habits? Do we drink all the time? Do we smoke all the time? Do we take NSAIDs? Sometimes Celebrex, I don't know if they still have Celebrex on the market, Motrin, things like that. Those medications are harsh on the stomach. And so we need to make sure that we talk to our patients and tell them if it's something that will be harsh on the stomach, they may need to have something to eat before they take that medicine. Okay? They may need to get some food in. So what do we want to do? What's our goal for these patients with peptic ulcers? They got hurt, they got pain, we need to reduce that pain. We need to talk to them about anxiety, about stress, things like that that's causing them to have problems, it's causing all of these issues. They need to change their diet. What are they eating that's causing them to have problems with ulcers? Okay, so maybe we need to send them to have some type of therapy. We need to get rid of the complications that's causing these issues for these problems. Okay? And that's basically all we need to say about that. But now we're gonna do, and what I wanna do is I wanna kind of see if we can kind of get some dialogue, because I hope I covered everything. It's kind of difficult to do the way it's set up, but we did this. So anyway, what I want to do now is I want you all to help me to see if we did what we needed to do, and if there's something that you don't know, we'll help each other. Okay? So, let's look here. I just don't want something to pop up that I don't want to pop up. That's why I keep looking up there, making sure that that's not going to happen. That would be good if something popped up there. Alright, so let's see what we got going on. This is your GI test, right? So your GI test is going to be, y'all got oxygenation coming up when? This Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the review on that?
Alright, so let's say H2 receptor agonist. H2 receptor agonist, okay? That's a type of med, right? We talked about that kind of early in our lecture. So what do we think that those types of medications, what's the action of those meds? What do they do? If they take one of those, what do they do? They stop acid secretions. They kind of lower acid secretions. That's what they do for our patients. So if we had a patient that asked us a question and they wanted to know, it's a good idea, especially if we work on a unit on a GI floor or something like that, to know what these meds do. And if we know what they do, then we're able to, take care of our patients a little bit better because we know why the doctor is ordering that particular med. Okay. Oh no. Look. Oh. Oh God. Okay. My thing, this was controlling it instead of me being able to control it. So, let's see. So if an older patient, you come in, well, let's say that the patient may have been diagnosed with cancer. What do we talk to them about as far as their, let's see if I can give you a specific, like, like the patient, we talked about cancer, certain cancers in the colon and that kind of thing. What types of diet, what do we need to talk to these patients about if they are at risk, if they're a patient at risk? Low fat, what other fiber, yeah. But what do we want to do with that fiber though?
Are we going to increase the fiber?
Yeah, we want more fiber. We want them to be able to get rid of. You
Oh,
want them
right, to get it out.
Get rid of that stuff. Yeah, they need to get all that little toxic stuff out of the system. But they do need to drink a lot of water too, because that fiber, it can build up. So we want them to drink a lot of fluids, but we also want them to be able to get those, get that low fat. We don't want that diet to be a high fat diet. We always know that for sure. We want them to get low fat, but we want them to have high fiber. Okay? So that's important. What about a patient who has cirrhosis and they are coming in and they're having some problems? We're doing our assessment. I think it would be a good idea to know, when we come in, what are we going to see with this person that comes in and they are having some problems? They've got like advanced liver cirrhosis.
Going to be jaundice?
Jaundice. What else might we see?
Ascites?
Exactly. And we'll see ascites in these kinds of patients. So we certainly want to make sure that we know what we're looking for and what we're seeing when we take care of a patient that has an issue there. So, boy, I feel like hepatitis was so far back till it ain't even funny. I almost forgot. When we talk to patients that have been diagnosed or we think might be at risk, it's a good idea to understand what we need to educate each one of those patients on, particularly hepatitis A, B, C. How do we need to educate them? How do we need to care? What types of care do they need? What do we need to tell them in order to prevent the spread? Okay, hepatitis A, hand washing, very good. If they are overseas or if the water, remember we talked about bottled water and things like that. It's a good idea not to use the water out of the tap. But in all cases, hand washing is very important for them. So I know something that we didn't really touch on. We didn't really talk about, when we talked about a colonoscopy and talked about maybe colon cancers and things like that, I think maybe we probably know this from level 2, what a stoma should look like. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's important to know what a stoma should look like. I know I talked about that. So, again, hepatitis A, B, C. Definitely know what you need to know about education, what to do, that kind of thing. That's important, very important. You see that again and again and again. We just talked about this, so I know y'all want to know this. We talked about like if my patient has a problem swallowing, okay, if they have a problem swallowing, I need to educate them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So understand what I need to do if that patient has problem swallowing, aka dysphagia. They need liquids, they need to have a soft diet. You know, those are the things that we want to make sure we know to do for them, okay?
And will they continue on that at home too?
More than likely, if they.
Once they start having that issue?
More than likely, because, you know, we just want to make sure that they're going to be okay. So we'll probably send them home on a soft diet and educate them. The nutritionist or dietitian will probably come in and talk to them about that. If they're at a point where their disease process has advanced, they'll probably have home health that comes to see them and that kind of thing. So that's important. And also, like for instance, if they were to have some type of procedure done, like the doctor went in to check, he scoped them or something like that, they come back to the floor for us. What should we be looking for?
Gag reflex.
We should monitor for gag reflex because they're going to use medications. They're going to numb them up. So we need to know that we can't give them anything to eat or drink after they come back to the floor from a procedure. That's important. So, it's important to know, who's that?
Miss Lyons.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's important to understand that we also need
Yep.
to know what kind of tests, if we have a liver, if they
I
have
don't know
liver
who it is.
cancer or something like that, what kind of tests do they need to have? Make sure to definitely look at that, what the type of test that they may need.
What Eric said.
For liver cancer, making sure that we understand what types of tests that we need to have, what's going on with that, okay? That's important to understand.
What he said.
Is that clear at the door?
No,
She's putting the computers up.
I just kept hearing, I'm like, what is that? Okay, so, oh, you remember like when you are doing your assessment and you're talking to someone, and you're looking and seeing if they've got jaundice, and you're looking and seeing if they have ascites, and you're checking to make sure that they're not having any bleeding. All of these things, when you have a patient that is suffering from some type of liver insult. And what other things could we do? Remember, we talked about you have to get close. You have to get up close and personal. Smell
Smell their
it.
breath.
Yeah, smell it. See what it smells like. It's probably going to have some kind of fruity smell. So we check that. What do we call that?
No, halitosis is bad breath.
Halitosis.
Halitosis is bad breath, ain't it?
Halitosis. Oh goodness. Okay. Just look that up and just kind of see what you can find out on that when you're looking at that fruity breath smell. Usually it's some kind of no girl, some kind lot of blood sugar issues going on. They got a lot of extra sugar. You know, when we first started, and we was talking about aluminum salts, the different types of antacids. When you're looking at antacids, there's different kinds. There's aluminum, there's magnesium. You know, understand the difference in those different types of antacids. A doctor may order an aluminum type antacid over a magnesium type. Why? Why is he doing that? Why is he ordering that medication? What is he looking for? Maybe the patient said that this medication is causing me some issues. So go back and look at your antacids.
You said
Check those.
is that sweet smelling, is it the fetal or hepatic?
Yes. Yes, it is. That is exactly what it is. Okay.
You said aluminum?
See, we talked about antacids overall,
Well,
but
it's normally, I thought magnesium and calcium. There's aluminum antacids?
yeah, I mean,
No, I'm allergic to it.
that's what I'm saying. So see, you have an allergy, but somebody else may have some other problem.
reaction to it.
Yeah, there may be something going on with them. They may complain that I got diarrhea or I'm constipated or something
What
like
about
that.
the taste of it?
The taste could be an issue, but more so, we don't want to cause any more problem to
Than
the
what they already
gut.
have, right?
So it's good to know what's going on, what type of antacid that you have here, and what it could possibly cause. Okay. Particularly if you're looking at an aluminum salt or something of that nature. Okay. So can we skip back and go way back when we talked about ulcerative colitis and how ulcerative colitis is an issue with loss of fluids. So the our nursing management for a patient who is losing fluid, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna care for them? Well, yeah. But when we're giving them those fluids, we're managing the loss of, because like when you give somebody a Pedialyte or something like that.
So you're gonna have to check their electrolytes.
Exactly.
Electrolytes.
Exactly, that's what we're doing. So we need to look at that and we need to consider that.
And make sure we don't send them over the other
Probably.
end.
Probably in the care of the patient, the doctor will probably order some kind of fluids for them. So, let's see. Aluminum hydroxide.
Oh my,
Okay, aluminum hydroxide.
Malat. Magnesium, aluminum hydroxide.
Aluminum hydroxide.
That's
Talk
literally
to
how they
me.
got the name of it.
Talk to me about it, okay?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
All of them.
Y'all know what a doctor, some procedures are invasive and some procedures are not invasive, right? So if it's not an invasive procedure, then there's no big deal, right?
Not always.
You lost, did I just lose you?
No, I'm saying not always though, because colonoscopy is not technically invasive.
Oh, well,
Because it doesn't
yeah.
break the skin.
Yeah, but
I
they're
thought
gonna give
invasive is
them,
breaking the skin or not.
well, but it's still invasive because they're not gonna just go up in there with that scope.
They're gonna put you out.
They're gonna give you something, some kind of medicine. You know how people,
But it's
they'll be
technically not
giggly, they'll have them said, a lot of times, they're what they call moderate sedation, yeah. So they, I wouldn't trust them driving home. I wouldn't trust those people driving home. But if I had a procedure done and I knew it wasn't invasive, I would be okay with them driving home. So, that's good to know.
And anything invasive, they would need a driver.
Exactly, they need a driver. So, if I lose fluids, I'm at risk for hypotension, right? So, I need to know how to care for my patient who is hypotensive. Especially if, like sometimes when they have these IBD, irritable bowel syndrome, they're running to the bathroom all the time. It's a diarrhea stool. They lose fluid. They can become hypotensive. So I need to know that I need to do other things. It's not just a matter of them losing loose stool. It's a matter of other parts of that we need to look at, and other pieces of the puzzle. So we'll consider that. We know appendicitis is an emergency, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Going back to way back about our meds, our PPIs, proton pump inhibitors, know what they do. It's important to know what they do because we got to know how to educate our patient, okay? Know what they do so we can educate our patient. Know what it is. Yes. Know what it is. Know how to detect it. Know what it looks like. Look up for me right quick. What test? There's a particular test that can tell you if a patient has liver cancer. You know what it is? What the doctor might look for, or what tests he might order.
No, that's colon, not liver.
Look in your labs. Look in your labs. Because I don't think I said that. I don't think I talked about some of the
Alpha
tests.
fetoprotein?
Yes. Alpha fetoprotein. Alpha fetoprotein. Look at your alpha fetoprotein and see what it does, the highs and lows of your alpha fetoprotein, because that could help him diagnose your patient, okay? Thank you. That was great. Awesome. Y'all have any other questions? Any other questions that are burning, stuff that we, I think we went over pretty much everything. Don't be tricked when you have acute appendicitis that there may be something else going on. When you have acute appendicitis, you may see some other things. So know what you may see. I can't say it any other way without, saying what it is. But know what your signs and symptoms of appendicitis is. with neuroscites and all of that good stuff. They got their blood. They have issues going on with the blood, right? So understand that. Understand if there's a patient with ascites, what's going on with the blood? What might you see? Just like somebody who's taking heparin or something like that. What kinds of signs and symptoms might you see if their blood is too thin? Sometimes you touch them. When you touch them, and then you get a bruise. Don't forget the little signs. Don't forget the little things. You're doing a head-to-toe assessment on that patient with ascites, with something going on with that liver. So, from head to toe, what could you possibly see if you had to pick some things that were happening with the patient? So, that's it's good to know. You know, understand how that goes. So, we'll stay here for another 15 minutes, and then y'all can go. Any questions? Any questions at all? Y'all feel okay with
What
this?
specifically do you need to know about appendicitis because we didn't go over it?
You know what, I was wondering if I thought I had missed something, and I'm trying to remember specifically if there was something that I didn't go over. Thank you for that. I meant to ask, was there something that I missed? Appendicitis, you know what? I don't really think there is.
The number one way to tell is doing the walk.
Let me pull it up though.
It's
on there, yeah, it's on there.
jar tenderness. These are tough to eat. Or the heel tips.
Okay, so it's not like ovary.
The most important thing usually, as far as appendicitis is concerned, is McBurney's point. McBurney's point, that's where you're gonna have some issues, where you're gonna see that tenderness, that kind of thing. But overall, it's an emergency. I thought we talked about appendicitis.
Yeah, you just said it was an emergency.
That's all you need.
That's all I need to know. It's an emergency.
If they come in,
Call 911.
that's what I'm talking about. Right lower quadrant of the abdomen, if they're complaining of pain in that area, because you know where the appendix is located, you know that little tail sits off over there.
But they still never
usually,
figured out what it does, right?
That's why they go ahead and get rid of it before that thing ruptures, okay? We don't want all of that pus and different stuff all in your stomach causing other issues, so they'll go ahead and get rid of it. It doesn't do anything really major. I mean, it's a little tail that's sitting over there, get in trouble. So, yeah, we want to get rid of it. There that thing is, sitting right there.
All that pain for such a little bitty
I know,
part,
it's
right?
already pop. But yeah, McBurney's point, that's where you're gonna feel your tenderness and rigidity and all that good stuff. What else? Anything else? I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you know, as far as GI goes, knowing the diet, knowing meds, knowing what they're for, you know, knowing how to teach it. Right now, we are in the phase where we're teaching. We're educating.
That seems to be oxygenation too. That's what you kept saying in your lecture because I was listening.
Exactly. You need to educate
Teach,
them.
educate.
Teach them. And that's exactly what you're gonna be, that's your role. You know, to me in level 3, in those situations, we need to teach lifestyle changes. So, you know, that's one of the things that's most important there. Alright. I can't let y'all go too soon, I get in trouble. I get in some trouble, I just tell the truth. I get in trouble.
You gotta be able to tell which one it is.
Oh yeah. My husband didn't cut that thing no slack. It's got 2 hard drives. He wanted to make sure there was enough room for me to do everything I need to do for school.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
But